Chicago Bears Camp Day 3, a huge update. What's up, guys? A roller coaster of a day for the offense. I'm going to break down everything you need to know from this year's first open practice. I have a couple of highlights and a ton of takeaways, including Caleb throwing back-to-back interceptions and back-to-back touchdowns in the same practice, as well as some unexpected players getting first-team reps, standout players from practice, and much more. Let's get right into it. First, the players not at practice today were Jalen Johnson, Braxton Jones, Luther Burden, Shamar Turner, and Zay Frazier. Braxton Jones' name was the most curious. It's possible he's trying to get cleared for contact, and he could be ready to go tomorrow, but his absence today was a bit concerning. No reason to overreact yet, but we'll see if Braxton is back tomorrow. Even more worrisome, though, is the Bears are missing 3 rookies from practice early on in camp, and that is not good for their development, although it is allowing some other guys to get reps. But we are missing Luther Burden, Shamar Turner, and Zay Frazier. With Braxton Jones out, at left tackle, it's been Karan Amagaji and Ozzie Trapillo rotating. At cornerback, it's been Nashawn Wright getting reps with the first team, although Josh Blackwell and Terrell Smith got reps today as well. At wide receiver, we've seen Olamide Zaccheaus and Maurice Alexander get some looks. But the biggest injury news is that Brad Biggs is speculating that Jalen Johnson could be out for a month. With the Bears saying he's out for multiple weeks at the start of camp, it sounds like the plan is to have him ready to go by week 1, meaning most likely JJ will not be participating in camp much, and he's not going to play in the preseason. And this has people wondering if he'll be rusty for the week 1 matchup against the Vikings. Justin Jefferson awaits in that game, and he's a guy who will test JJ in this defense immediately. Going into that game rusty is not advised. Okay, and now I wanted to cover everything that happened in practice today, starting with the first team offense and ending with the defense. Practice started out with Caleb Williams being pressured immediately by Montez Sweat. Caleb would roll out and throw the ball away. The second play was a broken play that went as an incompletion to DeAndre Swift, before Caleb would come back and throw a dime over the middle of the field to Olamide Zaccheaus to get the offense rolling. The next drive looked pretty similar, as Montez Sweat continued finding ways to get into the backfield and disrupt this offense. Caleb connected with Olamide Zaccheaus for another completion, this time rolling out to his left to avoid the pressure, but the offense still went 3 and out. The third series started off with a handoff up the middle to DeAndre Swift. The second play was Caleb looking for Rome Odunze on a back shoulder throw down the sidelines, but the timing was off. Rome slipped a little bit on his comeback route, and it was another incomplete pass. On the next play, it was a handoff to Roschon Johnson up the middle, not much there. The final play, Caleb bought time in the pocket, and he completed a deep crosser to Rome Odunze for what could have been a big-time TD pass. A huge play from QB1. It looked like Terrell Smith, the second-year corner, was in coverage on the play. But it was downhill from there for the offense. Red zone drills were next, and it was a sloppy series. Started off with 2 straight drops. Olamide Zaccheaus and Cole Kmet both dropped balls that hit him in the hands. Play 3 was a physical play, an incomplete pass intended for Rome Odunze, but he had Kyler Gordon draped all over him. Possibly some pass interference here, but I loved the physical play. But then it got even worse, as the next pass was tipped into the air by Terrell Smith and picked off by Jaquan Brisker for what looked like it would have been a pick 6 for the defense. The offense would stay on the field for one more play, and Caleb was intercepted again, this time by TJ Edwards, ending the drill for the first team offense. Next up was the goal line drills, and Caleb Williams and the offense got off to a hot start. Caleb just missed DJ Moore on a pylon pass, but then he came back 2 plays later on 3rd down, and he hit Rome Odunze for a touchdown over the middle of the field. But then the offense got one final play, and Caleb would end the day with back-to-back TD passes in the red zone drill as he found Olamide Zaccheaus in the back of the end zone for a TD on the final play. Finally, the first team offense would get one more run. They came onto the field in 11 on 11 drills for a 2-minute drill to end the day. Caleb would start off with a nice dart to Romo Dunze for a good gain. Second pass was dropped by DeAndre Swift, and then Caleb would take off running for a huge gain down the sideline and actually crossed midfield on the scramble. Another DeAndre Swift drop was then followed by an Ozzie Trapillo false start, and the Bears were starting to move backwards. But then Caleb stepped up and delivered a big strike to Devin Duvernay to keep the drive alive. Caleb then completed a quick slant to Zacchaeus to set up a long field goal try by Cairo Santos, a successful 2-minute drive by the first team offense to end practice. Overall was an up and down day for Caleb Williams and company. Montez Sweat was in the backfield a lot, and Caleb would throw back-to-back interceptions and back-to-back TD passes. I like how he bounced back and ended the day strong after throwing those 2 picks. It's one of the best traits you can have in a young quarterback, the ability to battle through adversity and answer after a couple of bad plays. This offense is still trying to find its footing and develop an identity. There will be even more struggles ahead and more bad practices. But I believe in the talent of Caleb Williams and the coaching ability of Ben Johnson. Pair that with all the weapons on this offense and the talent on this roster, and there's absolutely no reason to make a big deal out of a couple of bad throws in practice. We talking about practice, not the game. We talking about practice. As far as the rest of the offense goes, Tyson Bagent made some big throws with the second unit today, including multiple passes to UDFA wideout JP Richardson, who's having a nice camp early on. Tyson and JP seem to be building some nice chemistry here. Tyson would end the day on fire as well, throwing 3 TDs in the red zone drills. He connected with Samori Toure, Roshan Johnson, and Ian Wheeler. The best throw was to Ian Wheeler. It's good to see Ian back out on the field and being utilized as a receiver. Case Keenum would get the final set of red zone drills with the second team, and he threw 1 TD pass. As far as left tackle goes, it was Ozzie Trapillo getting reps with the first team, and honestly, most of the pressures seem to be coming from the opposite side. It's hard to see anything when the Bears practice so far away, and you don't know what's real when there's no pads on, but Ozzie seems to be having a great camp early on. A couple of other guys who got reps with the first unit today, Bill Murray got some looks at guard, and both Kyle Monungai and Roshan Johnson got a few reps with the first team as well. On to the defensive side of the ball, and it was Josh Blackwell getting a couple reps at nickel corner today. Although Kyler Gordon is available, he wasn't out there for every single rep. Blackwell broke up a pass and almost came down with an interception today. Speaking of Kyler, though, he has been spending extra time with both Al Harris and Dennis Allen. And honestly, it feels like the coaches really like Kyler. Both Nashawn Wright and Terrell Smith got some reps with the starters today as well, with JJ being out. And then I wanted to talk about a couple of reps that kind of stood out to me. One was Dominique Robinson beat Cole Kmet badly on one play, and he got immediate pressure on Caleb Williams, forcing an incompletion. Dom Rob has been getting first-team reps across from Montez Sweat, and he's gotten off to a good start in camp so far. Austin Booker has also been rotating in and getting reps with the starters on defense. He was actually the guy lined up across from Ozzie Trapillo on that final 2-minute drill on the play when Ozzie got called for the false start. So Booker's another player to keep an eye on this year as well. Something else that was seen from practice today was Tory Taylor drilling some 60 to 70 yard punts, and fans would take notice and cheer loudly, hoping for a huge season from Tory Taylor. But Bears training camp is back in full force, and I'm sure the overreactions will be swift after Caleb threw 2 INTs today. Pads might be coming back on tomorrow. That's something to keep an eye out for. No confirmation yet, but in the past, this is about the time when pads would come on. If you missed yesterday's video, there were more highlights and some good takeaways in that video as well. Be sure to check that out. As always, I appreciate everyone who watches. Please remember to hit that like button for me. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited for in camp. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.